Hello, and we are live. Welcome to our live. Kat, hello. I see you said I am waiting. I am very excited that you're waiting, Kat. And I'll be looking down just because I am looking at your comment. I'm so excited. My name is Miss Dory Linda. Most of you know me as Miss Dory Linda, but I am Doreca Delbridge. I'm an occupational psychologist, and I'm so excited to be joining you today because I know I have not done these lives in a really, really long time. But I thought, you know what, it's time we do this. It has been too long since I've been on one of these calls. And today, if you've seen the thumbnail, if you have seen the title, follow your dreams, they said. It will be easy, they said. So, yeah, I'm coming to you because I want to talk about what I have experienced in the past 6 months since I said I quit. And if you have not seen that video, I will try and make sure that I'll link it up here somewhere. I can't do that now because I'm live, but if you're watching this as a replay, you may be able to see it because it's been a really long process and I'm not out of the woods. Because I then thought, hello, Coach Jenny. I thought most of the time, what we tend to do is, let me know actually if you can hear me well because I am sitting really high. If you can see back there, that's my normal chair. But I've been working in this recording space and now my mic is really low, but I don't want to go adjust it because you'll be like seeing how my crazy setup looks like in front of a camera. I'm not doing that right now. Okay. Yes. Audio is clear. Thank you, Coach Jenny. So what I realized, the reason I really want to do this live is because I think sometimes when we're going through a transition, there can be a temptation of having a bit of perfectionism, as in we don't really share when things are not going well. We wait, right? Like literally, I thought if I'm coming to do a 6 months update, it has to be like now I have cracked the code. It's working so well. Am I not happy? I'm so glad I did the thing. And here are the amazing results. Let me know if you can relate to that. Don't you see like every time somebody does like a change in their life, they pivot something, 3 months down the road, and it's like, I did this thing, I changed something in my business and everything is perfect now. It's not my experience. Hi, Sean. Nice to have you here. It has not been my experience just because things sometimes the reality of life takes longer than the image we can have in our mind. So I thought, for the spirit of this channel of authenticity and being honest and sharing, why not? Why don't we just come and lay down? So today I want to share with you what has been my process so far, right? Right, Sean? What has been my process so far this past 6 months since I said I quit? As in, I know I didn't quit on YouTube, but I quit doing the content for, helping with career fulfillment in the corporate world since this girl did not get career fulfillment in the corporate world. I started to feel a little disconnected from that content. And I really wanted to talk more from the heart of things that were actually truthful for me. Let me know if you can really struggle sometimes with talking about things that just don't make sense for you or any longer, right? So I wanted to be more honest. For me, fulfillment came through entrepreneurship. And this is still the path I am on, still trying to figure it out because I've done so many things. But anyway, so what have I been up to for the last 6 months, right? It's good to see you. It's good to see you guys. Thank you for commenting on the chat because I can see you all. It's nice to have you. It's nice to have you here. So what have I been up to since April? You can see a little bit of my content has been all over the place because I've been trying to feel my way. And I don't know if you are like this. The other day, for the first time, I know so many people around me have been talking about human design. And for the first time, I did a human design, what do they call it? Like an assessment or something, trying to figure out what your human design type is, right? I'm still not, let me know in the chat if this makes sense. And if you're watching a replay, what type are you? I don't know enough about it to even say any type or anything fancy about it, other than I think I'm oh gosh, I can't remember what I am. But anyway, it has been so confirming in a couple of videos that I've watched because most of my time I have felt the way I figured out my life takes time. It takes having little pieces here and there to get a puzzle put together much later. I'm not one of those people in the moment that, something happens and I'm like, oh, now I get it. I am supposed to be doing this. So that's been my experience with YouTube straight away when I said I'm pivoting and I'm changing, I had no idea like what clearly do I want to talk about now, now that I'm not talking about my previous topics. Let me know if you can relate sometimes things taking longer than you anticipate. And just know like if you comment something and I don't acknowledge you, it's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just that sometimes it takes time for whatever you comment for it to show up for me to acknowledge it. Okay. Anyway, so the transition has looked like this for me. I wrapped up my one-to-ones, like client I was seeing one-to-one. Not that I wanted to end it as soon as I did. It just kind of happened by itself. As in, it just started to fizzle away. And then I was like, you know what? I think this is almost like a natural progression out of this. And then I started doing more workshops, which was great. I enjoy those so much because it was just awesome to have an opportunity to meet you all and just have a way of testing out, right? Because I'm in transitioning. So I need to test out like what ideas are landing for people, what ideas are landing for me, what are the problems that I really want to continue solving, what are the ones that I just want to let go, right? And then I started a new membership. So I started a new membership in May. You would know it by Baobab Experience. And that has been going really well. It's still very small, which has been really great. And I wanted to grow bigger faster. It's like Coach Jenny is my coach. She is in the chat and she's amazing, right? And so she would know how I wanted to go there faster, like get me there yesterday. She calls us impatient, ambitious people. Yes, we are not. We are very impatient. So I'm one of those people that I want everything to have happened yesterday. So I was just like, no, I want to have like 40, 30 people in my membership by like 2 days. No, didn't happen, right? We're still a very small group, but it's been really, really nice to have because I've been able to have more intimate conversations with the people in my group that I wouldn't have been able to do had I had so many people to cater to, right? Because then you feel the pressure of, they came in for this particular thing I thought I was doing at the time they came in. So now I have to keep doing it, like when you have this golden handcuff, right? You just feel like you committed yourself to a thing. Now you have to keep doing it. Let me know if you can relate to that. But then I realized the fact that there are few of us, and if I tell them we're pivoting, it's easier to pivot and change direction or adapt to things when there's not too many people you're trying to direct it to go in one direction, right? Because it's just a few of us. Can we go this way? They're like, yeah, sure. Let's take our things and go. Because the whole point, what I really wanted to get a feel of as I was working with my people in the Baobab experience, look, my mind just went blank. In the Baobab experience was to see where is our biggest pain point, right? Because we come in, the Baobab experience initially was all about if we have an amazing vision and idea and we want to share it with the world, how do we best do that as creative people? And you would have heard me talk about having that creative cycle, right? You can have your inspiration time, you can have your execution time, and you can have your rest. And that developed into a much more fancier graphic, which I don't have right now, so I can't share with you. But anyway, it got a little bit more even fancier because as more I worked with people, it kind of, informed the whole framework. But the idea is, how do we do that when we tend to have circles and we don't really operate as the, normal or mainstream entrepreneurship that we see people operating? And so what I did realize over time, working within our group, what we have realized or come to realize together was that there is a particular place where we get to in that journey, that cycle, where we're talking about when we get to that execution time and it's more about experimentation and we don't know the idea just perfectly, the hesitation we feel. Let me know if you can relate to that, because you're like, that's when the triggers start coming, because we have to show up in a way that we have not shown up before. And it didn't really dawn on me how difficult that would be, not because it's not lost on me how hard that is, because I still find it challenging, but how much we can stay hidden. And these are not my words. These are the words of my members, because we've been talking about this really deeply lately. And I remember the other day, one of my members said to me, it feels like safe prison, because it's something that I've known for so long, this safe place that I come back to every time I put myself out there and I don't get the reception that I was expecting. Nobody's like getting excited about my thing yet, because at this time, if you're starting something new, nobody knows you yet, right? So we have this unrealistic expectation sometimes of what we think will happen. We put our thing out there and then like crickets, or it's quieter than we thought. Let me know if you can relate. You go back like, maybe my thing is just not good enough. And then the inner critic kicks in and says, see, I told you shouldn't have bothered. I don't know why you even bother. You thought you were going to do something, right? You thought you were going to do something. And then we go back to being back in hiding. Or my other member, what he has been experiencing is having this issue of having, feeling like, oh gosh, I'm forgetting the word, the Midas touch, right? He can work, and this really resonated with me so much because I kid you not, this is my 9th year in this entrepreneurship path. Next year, we're going to be doing massive celebrations. Let me know if you can do like celebration emoji in the chat. Next year is going to be 10 years. This girl is going to be celebrating and you're going to be celebrating with me. Next year is going to be celebrating, okay? But these 9 years, it's only been like the last 3 years that I've been really visible, like this. You see me like this, showing up, talking to you like this. All my other business models before that were business models that allowed me to hide. Okay, they allowed me to hide. They allowed me to still do the thing, but not having to show my face or share my story or really being visible, connecting with people like that. I was smart. I was just like, you know what? Let me hire someone to do the marketing for me or things like that. Those were the models. I mean, the Etsy, you only have to come to my shop and see this stuff. Like, so my Midas Touch, I can turn everything gold, was let me do the product and it will be amazing, right? Let me work behind people. I can make them amazing. And this is not like to brag or anything. I just think it's a gift. I think we all have different gifts. I always believe this was my gift, but I never believed my gift required me or needed me, or not, those are not the right words. I'll come up with the right word if I can think of it. But I just never felt like I could be in the forefront and be the face of anything. Like I could show up like this and you would want something from me, right? I felt like my Midas touch was when I put in something and you would want the thing, or when I put on somebody and you would want the somebody, right? So my inner critic was kicking in every time if I showed up, did a thing, and nobody celebrated immediately or bought the thing. It was like, see, Doreca, we just have to go back and doing it behind other people. And we were talking about it the other day, and I realized, wow, I'm not alone, right? I'm not alone. This is something that other people can feel. And I don't know if you all can have experienced that, can relate to that. If you're watching this as a replay, let me know if you can relate to that. Let me know in the chat if you're live, because I would love to absolutely know if that makes sense or not, right? Alethea, you're saying, could it be that different visions require different tribes? Maybe that they can all work, but just have to find the right support. I agree. I think sometimes it could be that you're just not showing your thing in front of the right people. It definitely could be that. Definitely could be that. Sean, you're saying that the first year can be really rough. Ugh, you're kidding me, right? I mean, here on YouTube, I think I was just calculating the other day, and I think the growth went from 6 subscribers to 10,000 subscribers in 15 months, right? But that was just the outward thing. The inward things nobody sees is me staying up until 5 a.m. crying because I can't figure out how to edit, or how many times I've plugged in and no audio came, right? And if you've heard me now talking about how I wanted to hide, how you would then know how big of a step that was for me to even show up on camera, right? Like literally, I built my other little studio, I think it was February, and then I signed up for YouTube channel, I think it was April. I did not post my first video until July of 2019. And if you go back and you watch that video, you will see that I've been crying before I showed up on video. And I didn't even wait to come in to my little studio to record the video, because I thought by the time I moved from upstairs in my room to the basement, I would have lost the will to do it, and I would chicken out and I'll find an excuse to come out of it. And I was tired of continuing to hide, because at this time, I had gone out. I have realized that that was what was happening. Before this, I never did. I just thought that's just my gift. This is what I do. This is how I show up. But it took going through a very unhealthy marriage and me asking myself, how the heck did I get here? How did I end up in this place, in this situation? Because I thought I'm a smart girl. I'm educated. I've come from a good family. Like, what the heck? How did I end up here? And going through that healing process allowed me to uncover so much about myself that I was not aware. And out of that healing process is what allowed me to be able to get to a place where I could feel permission almost to stop hiding. Let me know if you have gone through something that was maybe horrible, wasn't a good thing, but it brought forth fruit that was so worth it. Like you could go back and not that you would choose the difficult situation, but that you are thankful of the goodness that came out of it. Share with me if that makes sense while I take a sip of some water, right? Sam, you are sharing that the hardest part is understanding the value that other people want. And you know, I did a post once in the community tab. I don't know if you saw that, Sam, where I said your biggest pain is probably what the other people need. I mean, you guys, if you've been here, maybe you've been through my INFP content and me sharing things, my journey, how I've been through the corporate world, because I've mainly focused on like work career related, because it's just the stuff that drive me, right? So that can be a challenge. And I've shared that and you have related to that because that have been my pain, right? I've been willing to share with you my pain, and you can relate to that and hopefully relate to the solutions that can be there for you too. I mean, I've known so many people who have said, wow, Miss Dory, you know, I took your advice and you won't believe I think I saw somebody said, I started my business because of what you did. And I had not even worked directly with this person. They just watched some videos and they started a thing. So that's really good. Let me see. Alethea said, I feel like I had a lot of dreams and good ideas, but I've been sleepwalking. Now I'm starting to wake up and I'm inspired and now more doors are opening for me. Awesome, Alethea. That's awesome. So one of the things as I was realizing that I wanted to spend a little bit more time with my members was I actually hired, this is like going back to what have I been up to since my 6 months update, right? I hired a video editor. I don't know. Let me know if you're watching this as a replay, because obviously this is not going to be edited. I hired a video editor back in August. It's been about 3 months. So I don't know if you have noticed any difference in my videos, in my editing. But anyway, I feel like she's better than me, right? Like she took what I was already doing and I think just made it better. I feel like it's just much easier and done much better than I ever did, right? And that allowed the reason I did that, it bought me time. I mean, Sean, I think we've talked about Sean from INFPHD, if you've seen him in the chat. We've talked about burnout before for us creative INFP people and how hard that can be on us when we're taking on more than we can chew. And I realized if I was going to spend more time in understanding this new niche I was going into, this new problem area that I was going into, I couldn't do fully that with a membership and be fully here on YouTube. So and not in creating content, but the most time consuming things if you are on YouTube, if you're creating content, is editing. Editing is the most time consuming. And it was not the thing that I enjoyed as much. You know, Sean is saying burnout. Yeah, right. I mean, you know what that's like. And you can have so many ideas. And for me, I used to have so many ideas of things that I wanted to create, content I wanted to create for you guys. But just the idea of, oh gosh, after I finished recording a video, it would take me 8 to 10 hours of editing to get a video out to you guys. So it's time consuming. And definitely YouTube is not for the faint-hearted, right? So what that having that focus in my membership allowed me to really have that revelation of this problem area of us wanting to be visible. And I've seen so many people sometimes whenever I've done entrepreneurship related videos to say, I have amazing ideas. I really would love to be an entrepreneur. I am an entrepreneur, but the thing about being in front of people, sharing them with them ideas is the hardest part. So I mean, I just know that, that fight, flight, or freeze mode kicks in for us, right? It triggers something in us, whether it's wilderness issue or something like that. We start questioning and the inner critic kicks in. Let me know in the chat if that relates to you. If you're watching a replay, let me know if that makes sense to you. And this has been my struggle, and I'm realizing it's a struggle for my members. And I was really curious to say, you know what? Let me put it out there and see how many other people perhaps feel that way. Have this feeling of, I am in this, what do they call it? Safe prison. That we stay in this loop of, we have an idea we put out there, but if we don't get the response, we go back into hiding. We have this idea we put out there, but if we're going back in hiding, right? And then we just feel like crap, because we just know, if the gift I have that I can, if whether you've been in employment or if you help somebody else with their business or you've done a product thing, whatever, like for me, it was the hiding business model, right? It was anything I could do that did not require me to ever have to share this. That was my thing for the first 6 years, right? And I knew I had the goods, right? Let me know in the chat if you can relate to that feeling of hiding. And I don't know how relatable this is, but it's definitely been my experience. Or what do you call it? Maybe it's another question. What do you call it? Because some people might not call it hiding. Maybe you have another name. I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know. Let me know if you have another name. Sean from INF PhD, just so much concentrated passion is part of our fabric, as well as why we can create awesome things. It's just come to accept that level of energy we can put into things has burnout attached. That's right. We have to know what's the pace, right? What's the pace of life that works for us? And what are we willing? And for me, I was willing to pay somebody buy time. I was willing to buy time so that I don't run myself to the ground, but at the same time, I can continue to actually grow something I actually want to see all the way to the end. Sam, you're saying, I can relate to the idea of hiding. I've stopped hiding as much. Just this is between phase, just in this between phase. Yeah, makes sense. Let me know what's your idea of hiding has been like. One of my members, she's on Instagram. That's her area of wanting to share more of what she's passionate about. And what she realized over time was that she will share things, but then when it gets like, she does photography, she has beautiful page, right? And she will share things of like experiences, things she's going through. But when it came to like, when we're realizing, Instagram is changing, is maybe less about photographs and whatever they've announced, they're all about video. So we're like, okay, so if we really want to utilize this platform, we might have to do video. And that's when this whole thing came up for her, because she was really like, I can't do video. I was like, okay, what other ways can we be more personable than the way we observe things? What other ways can be, sometimes even our views we think can be really polarizing, because we think if we share this, it would make me look like this, and people won't like that, and they will reject me. And I know, for example, there are times I've done videos here and I've admitted that. I said, I'm going to share something and maybe not all of you will agree. Because like the idea of being introverted, and, people can say, you are shy, you're this. I'm not, I'm just reserved. My mind just works at a, faster speed. And sometimes I just need to rest. And, if you're an entrepreneur and you say, I need to take a nap, people think, you like drive. There's something wrong. You like drive. You don't have it in you. People got to work. And I'm like, that troubled me for so long, because I thought I work really hard, more than a lot of people I know around me. Right? I can work 12, 14 hours straight, but okay, I'll need maybe a nap for 3 days after that. But it's not it's not laziness. And you've seen me make videos about, it's not laziness, or it's not whatever we think perceptions will be, are the things we hide about ourselves to share, to say. But as I realized, the more I talked about things that may otherwise label me in a way that I don't want to be labeled, it's the more I could relate to you guys. Because some of you maybe face those challenges that you never share with anybody. Some of you have viewpoints that you're scared, like, if I put that out there, they will think this of me. And is that thing, right? Is that thing of like, this is what they will judge me as, that holds us and holds us back from actually authentically, fully realizing the thing we want to do. Right now, I feel like I am very much in my element. doing the things that I love. And you forgive me, sometimes I'm seeing my my internet showing up, like if I'm cutting in and out, do forgive me, just because sometimes it may be doing that. My internet has been really unstable. The fact that I'm paying them money and they will be unstable is beyond me. Hi Vishal, hi, how you doing? um so Alethea is saying, if you're always trying to be normal, you will never know how amazing you can be. Maya Angelou, what a wonderful quote. That is beautiful. Oh, Sean, thank you. That is so sweet. Look, at Sean got me a sticker. And if you don't know, you can buy me a sticker. You can buy me a gift. You can buy me a sticker. And it goes in my little pocket and I can go have tea. It's there, it's optional. You don't have to. But I appreciate you, Sean. I'm going to have tea on you today. Thank you. Not tea on you. That sounded wrong. Thank you for the gift because I can have tea because you gave me a gift. Oh my gosh. All righty. Well, you can see it's 1 o'clock my time and I am feeling a little awake, but I've been sick for like 3 weeks because my kid, I have a 6-year-old and I have a 16-year-old, and one of them goes to school, catches something, brings it home, makes me sick, and then I pass it on back. Everybody's been sick in our house. So even if I sound a little weird, that's why. Thank you, Sean. Sam is saying, I get a little antsy when I'm not constantly doing things too, but it gets to a final moment to gather energy back to, yeah, most definitely. Energy is really, really key. So that journey of going through what I went through, I realized that's the part that revealed things about me. And if this is just a little tip of this, is not like, oh gosh, oh, thank you. Yes, thank you, Sam. If you're realizing, I don't feel like fully myself. I was talking to one of my colleagues in a membership that I belong to. These are not my members. This is a membership I belong to. And was a colleague, and we're talking the other day about being on YouTube, and she was saying, I hate being on camera. I hate being on YouTube because I just never feel myself. I feel like I freeze. I feel like it never comes across as me. And I've heard people never watching their own videos back. You won't believe it. I watch my own videos back. Sometimes I say some things and I'm like, that was smart. It's almost like I'd never said the thing. And I'm like, I'll watch back to watch that. That's not because I like to watch myself back, but I think it's the journey of getting to a place where we can accept the duality of who we are. The wabi sabi, as I call it, the imperfection about us is what makes us, is what makes us unique, right? I think that was just a quote. Alethea, you were just sharing about Maya Angelou making this quote, is that the more we can authentically show up, the better connected we can be with the people that we are meant to serve. That can't happen if we are when we're hiding. Goodness, I remember a really wonderful quote one of my members shared with me the other day. He said he was in a call and he works in the corporate he does consulting in a corporate world. And I hope he won't mind me sharing, and I won't share any details, but like just the ethos of the story. And he was on a call with somebody, and somebody was on mute, and the person was told, do you want to go ahead and unmute yourself? And they said, oh, you on mute, right? Like, go ahead and unmute yourself so you can speak, right? And I just want to repeat this because it sent chills to me when he shared it with me, this story, because the person came back and said, story of my life. Get it? Right? They feel like the story of their life is they've been on mute. And I thought that reminded me, and as I was thinking back on that, I thought that really reminded me of how I felt, but I had no words because I didn't even realize I was muting my story those first 6 years of entrepreneurship, why I was choosing business models that allowed me and enabled me to continue to hide. I didn't know at the time that's what I was doing because I didn't feel comfortable enough to unmute, right? Unmute. Let me know what your version of that is for you. Where are you muting your life for you? If you're watching this as a replay, put in the comment section. If you are in the chat, let me know how that is landing for you. So the thing that I'm realizing, I think it came to me as I was thinking, oh, I did the human design thing. What was I? I was a generator. I know nothing about human design. If you know more, let me know. Okay. Share with me what type you are and what does that mean. I know nothing. I did a test 2 days ago and that's the name it gave me, generator. But I think the one thing I think I picked up is the ebb and flows of waves of like emotions. I was like, yes, I feel like it's not like most of us INFPTs, especially. I don't know, we go through waves, right? And I think I've come to a place where I've almost accepted um, allowing things to come and go, and that what is mine will come in its own time, and I can rest in that. And that's been my journey this past 6 months, is having these deep experiences with my members and really understanding the places where they may be struggling, and maybe this idea of being visible and how we are hiding, and maybe we don't even recognize. For me, I honestly thought as I was going through those first 6 years, it was situational. In the beginning, I used to think, I don't know WordPress enough to, make my website how I want, to put my name there and so forth. And then it became, I was on, let me just use Facebook a whole lot. And then it became, oh, I don't need to post anything personal like my face or anything like that on Facebook. All I need to do is just post the things I create on Facebook. So that just continued on. And then it was Amazon, which I never had to use, Amazon FBA. I never had to use social media because I was doing ads straight to my Amazon store. Safe, great. All that's done. That has been the story of my life. I never had to do it, but each and every time, I never thought this was me hiding. I thought it was situational. This platform doesn't require that of me. This, I just don't understand it, so I'm not doing it. I remember in the beginning, it was maybe the equipment isn't right. One of my colleagues was sharing with me the other day. She said, I never felt right. So I thought, is it the equipment? So they bought equipment, more ring lights, whatever, right? Is it the camera? Let me get better camera. I think it's the audio. I just need a better mic, whatever. And you fix all that, right? The decor has to be just right. You fix all that, and then nothing changes. And then you realize, I think we have to almost go through that process. We fix all the external things and we realize it's nothing to do with the external stuff because the results are still the same. Let me know if you can relate to that in the chat. And if you're watching this as a replay, let me know in the comment section, because that allowed me over this time to be deeper with my people. Do I regret it? Having said I quit, I don't regret it. Do I wish it was faster? Yes, I wish it was faster. I wish all this would just download, the wisdom would just download, and I don't have to hurt my head trying to think it through, right? Sean says the gear acquisition syndrome. Oh goodness, you should see the other day. I did try, Sean, to see what can I offload. Right, I've tried to declutter a little bit, especially because this room, the recording room that you see, guys, is also my guest room. So the holidays are coming, and I'm always going to have visitors. So if I'm going to have visitors, I don't want people to feel like they're imposing. So I'm going to have to move my stuff back into my office and have that be my recording studio for a little bit. And so if that's going to be my recording studio, I was almost like, dang, I'm going to have to move all this stuff. And then I realized how much stash I have of things that I might have to sell off. It just doesn't make sense to keep moving them different places. I'm like, am I using this? Did I buy it then? What did I really need it? Yeah, it was all the gear acquisition syndrome. Yes, I get it, Sean. Yeah. Rochelle is saying, as an IFB, I feel like doing everything, but I can't see anything to completion. So that's I think, Vishal, we've talked about this in the past quite a lot, I think, in terms of emotion regulation being the trigger. And I do hope that going forward, depending on what I'm ending up being like the niche that most people really need solution for, how I'll frame this. But I am doing a lot more research around the nervous system and our response to the triggers of the fight, flight, or freeze responses, which we tend to respond, and which can look like procrastinating, right? Can look like you abandon things and you don't finish them, right? Because something triggered you and that's the response, right? You freeze and you just leave it alone, right? And so understanding sometimes like not finishing things or procrastination and all these things, they're just symptoms of another disease. It's a path and a journey to actually get there and realize there's a deeper issue here going on. But most of the time, it takes a lot of like trial and error. Like I think I just need to be productive. I just need to learn how to time manage myself so that I can finish the thing I start. Right. I've seen so many people say, they're scared, especially with entrepreneurship, because like if I go into entrepreneurship and I don't finish anything, I'll never earn any money. So whenever we've done live stream before, people have been honest enough to at least admit that, and I completely get it. I completely get it, because it's not for the faint-hearted, the entrepreneurship route, because it's true there are no safety. But in my view, no is your job. Just saying, because I think last year we just realized that so much of what we think is safe and secure and locked in sometimes isn't, and that we all have to generate what we need. Okay, some human design issues. So manifesting generator here, yes. How your energy and emotion cycles work. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe I might get into that a little bit. You know, like especially now as I'm trying to draw in together how I want to show up in my offerings. I don't know if my membership, I know my membership will always stay a membership. I really like that, because in the past, if you have been through my like 10-week program, I found that at the end of the 10-week, then I feel like I'm like, okay, thank you, goodbye now, right? There is no continuation of support. And it's like, dang, I've just realized all these things. What do I do? How do I apply them continuously that they become a habit of your life, not just a thing you did it for 12 weeks or 10 weeks, right? So when I transitioned to doing memberships, I realized that people can have their own time. And it's the most natural thing for me. I don't know about you, but let me know in the chat or in the comment section how you do friendships. But for me, I always feel like my work is almost like how I relate to people in real life. And in real life, when I have friendships, I'm very aware that there will come times I see certain friends a lot. I talk to them on the phone a lot. I see them regularly in person. And there may come times, just because of cycle of life, that we don't catch up as much. We don't see each other as much. But that's not because we stop being friends. It's just time in life, right? Let me know if you can relate to that. It's like nothing has changed. They're still your friends. They're still your people. And you probably from time to time catch up, but you just, the frequency goes down a little bit, and then you go up, you go up in frequency again. And then it just ebbs and flows. And I feel like with having membership allows that, a person can come and get more of me as much as they want without the pressure of like, oh, it will end in like 2 weeks. I better make use of it today. No, you can come and go as you please. It can have that same ebb and flow that I relate to people in real life. Let me know if that makes sense to you guys. What do you think makes the missing X factor that makes the difference when building a business or online presence? What do I think is the missing X factor? What do you mean in terms of like what makes a success, or what? Let me know. Let me know, Sam. What do you mean, so that I can answer your question accurately. Yes. All right, Sean, I preferred and made better content with my initial camera than I did with my expensive camera I bought this year. I only used 3 times and then ghosted YouTube for the last 5 months. We have missed you, Sean. I've been checking in on you. Every time I'm coming in your channel, I'm like, where is he? Is he going to come back? But no pressure. So I didn't go like, where are you? You better come back, right? Because I know that we all go through times when we just need a break sometimes, right? Sam, fold your dreams into your life. Oh gosh, that is beautiful, right? I love that. I like that a lot. Yes, fold your dream into your life. And so I'm trying to find that better fit. Hello, Volt. I'm trying to find that better fit with what I am offering and sharing with you guys, with being more in tune with how my energy works and how I flow. So I'm not trying to force things that just don't make sense for me. And so far, membership feels that way for me. And it can feel like just a really open hand. Like I like to, like my mom always says, have an open hand in life, let things put on it and just keep your hand open. Let someone take. Let somebody put on, and if they want to, let them take away. Just keep an open hand. Let it come and go. It's fine. Everything that is meant for you will come. Everything that is not meant for you for that time will go. And so I feel with a membership sort of framework, it allows that people can come and go. Sometimes someone comes for a few months and decides, you know what, I think I need something else, and then maybe they'll come back later. Maybe other people stay longer. Maybe other people always just like have the security of that's the place I can go to when I need it, right? So that's been my feeling. That's been my experience this past 6 months. And I am so grateful that I no longer have to edit my videos, you guys. It's just been such a relief, right? But honestly, yes, do I still want things to go faster? That will never change. I'm one of those impatiently ambitious people, as my coach Jenny calls me. But I'm grateful for the lessons I'm learning as I'm doing it. I never really fully regret anything. There are times when I was like, dang, I wish I had figured it out before my channel got so big. As Sean always says, be careful about wishing things to get so big. And I'm not saying I'm like a big YouTuber or anything, but I just feel like we've built a really close-knit community here. And I'm like, oh, I wish I had figured out my whole thing, in the beginning. But life is a journey. We're not going to have perfection in any one point in our life. Let me know if you can relate to that. And sometimes it's okay to understand that journey allowed you to see something else that you wouldn't have known of seeing had you not gone through the thing you'd gone through. Does that make sense? So no regrets on my part. There's still nagging thing. I won't lie. I just wish, yes, things would gone a little faster. I would have been a different place. I would have found out something sooner. That I don't know if that will ever go away. So I'm gonna stop wishing it would. But gratitude has been one of those things that I've continued on, like a daily practice for me, is being grateful for what today holds for me, what is unfolding today, what I'm enjoying today, what I can celebrate today. And that has allowed me not to be focusing too much on what did, focusing in the past and then you regret things, or you focus in the future and then you're worried about things. That's just crappy feelings all around. It's just not the energy I just want to be in anymore, right? Sam, you re-ask your question. Yeah, that makes sense. The difference between a success that can grow and content that can't grow. Oh, okay. That's what I wonder if there's an answer. I think it's a bit of both, if I can be honest, Sam. I think so. I'll answer it in two ways. Okay. I think there's something to be said about what's your intention with let's use YouTube as a thing. Since we're on YouTube, this is making sense, right? If we're using YouTube and creating content on YouTube and we're thinking, what's the thing that makes content on YouTube grow? What do you want it to grow for? Like I always say, what's the end goal? What's your projection? What do you want it for? Is it to maybe develop a brand that has a certain number of following or influence so that you can work with brand deals? That's a very different purpose, or a very different sort of target to someone who has maybe a back-end offer like me, who wants to work with people, not necessarily to do YouTube for the brand deals, right? So for me, if I have right now, it tells me, I don't know if this is accurate, but it tells me there is 6, it keeps popping in and out, like 6, 8 of you. If I'm talking to 6, 8 of you now, and I was to offer you something, I don't have anything to offer you today, but if I was to offer you something, and I don't know, 3 of you said yes, that's like 50% conversion. And then you all convert to, I don't know, $10,000 package I have or something. And then it's like, wow, that's 30,000, right? I didn't need to have 10,000 of you watching something for that to be lucrative channel for me. Do you get my drift? So what is success then, right? Is success the number? Is success the intention in which you build that number? So because my end goal is for you to come to consume more of my offerings, for me, it's less about the quantity of people, but the quality of people that I have following me. So, do they align with the things that I care about? Do they align with what I offer? Are they able to afford or pay for what I offer? Because that matters. So, the quality of the person or the problem that I'm solving, aligning with the person that needs it, is more important. But let's say your business model, and it was the brand deal example. So for you, success would be, yes, have more of that following. So in your case, it would be what makes a difference is maybe not so much having like a tribe, but maybe, no, it probably could do both. I'll correct myself. You could have a way of like, I wanna develop a certain thing where I'm the brand, like the personal branding, like I'm the brand, in which case you're following me because of my point of view about a way of life. Let's say we're minimalist, but we have a quirky way of, I don't know, we live under the rock somewhere, and that's our way of expressing our minimalism, right? And you all follow me. And then everybody who has a way of how you can decorate your rock, the equipment that you can, chisel your rock, all those brands would want to work with you because your niche is so specific to that thing. And if they just sell through you, they will make lots of money and you get a cut of that, right? So that will be a success for you in the niche one. Will it be those really concentrated people? But there will be other people who are like just big, Mr. Beast. I mean, the big YouTubers that is not like a niche thing. It's more of the volume of people. And the big brands want the volume, right? So what does success mean for you? It would mean what makes the difference in success. If your big YouTuber just wants the big numbers to work with any brand, let's say, be entertaining. Because if that's your gift, be entertaining, because people just can consume entertainment all the time and they can be sold to. If you really want to align to your thing and maybe work with selective brands, what is the success? Be really vulnerable and open, and be really aware of what it is that you're about. That's the tribe, right? You have to know that will make the difference. Because if you can't be transparent, you can't be really vulnerable, nobody's going to align with you because you're not sharing about anything deep. Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat or in the comment section if that's resonating or making sense for you. If it's about expertise about a particular thing, let's say I want to train you all, I want to show you all how to make these bottles. This is my expertise. If I want to show you that, I have to show you as an expertise, because all I want is for you to either buy the bottle or for people who make bottles to sell more bottles to you. This is a brand deal, me offering something. So the difference of success is for me to show you my expertise on maybe material, on fit, right? That's what will make the difference in success. So what makes a success will depend, what's your end goal? What's your end goal, right? It would depend on that, and that's how you would develop your brand and your channel to hit those marks with that end goal in mind. So most of the time I feel like if people just start YouTube just because I just want to start and see, you may be developing a brand that won't align with your end goal, and then you are having to undo things later, and that's really hard because YouTube needs a lot of time to relearn things. Let me know, Sam, if I've answered your question or if I completely missed the point and answered something else. Because like you will see, for example, now that I'm going back to creating more entrepreneurship content, because some people say, have you stopped doing INFP? I've never stopped being an INFP. So I don't know, when people ask me that question, I don't know what that means. Just because my video does not have an INFP title does not mean it stops being about my viewpoint of the issue. So it will always have an INFP connotation to it, whatever topic it is, whatever subject area it is. Does that make sense? So just because it doesn't have an INFP on the title, it doesn't mean it's not INFP relevant, because it's still coming from this vessel who is an INFP. I hope that makes sense when people have asked that, are you ever going to go back and make INFP, topics? I think they just mean like personality related topics. And that was really a detour on my part. You will notice that from the very beginning, my initial focus was really entrepreneurship, route because that's what I really wanted to discover more for myself, and that's what I wanted to share. And then on the process of me discovering that, I realized how much my INFP-ness was impacting that journey, and I wanted to share more about that. So that detour allowed me to just share more INFP related thing. And then YouTube pigeonholed me to be an INFP expert. And now I'm like, I'm not an expert. I was just really sharing from a personal point of view, because even my psychology background is really not about personality. It's really about occupations, like work psychology. So really that was more from a personal journey that I wanted to share. I hope that makes sense. Let me know what your takes are, guys, because I'm going to wrap up soon, because I'm realized, sure, I've been talking for a minute. You've been spending an hour with me. I so appreciate you. I'm so glad you came, because I have not done live streams for months now. So I was like, I probably will be talking to myself because it's been so long, and I've not been doing this as a scheduled thing. So I didn't even know if any of you will be turning up today, but I just felt like I wanted to connect with you guys in this way this week. I just didn't want it to be another recorded sort of content. I'm so glad, Jay, that you have enjoyed the content. I'm so appreciative of that. That journey really did open up a lot of understanding for me too, even on an entrepreneurship journey, for sure. Yeah. I think that content creation and entrepreneurship is a natural journey. I guess I'm a little impatient. Sam. Yes. I think most of us are. I think most of us, don't realize every time, I remember even whenever I've done something around the house, because I like decor, whatever I've said, oh, I think I'm going to paint this room today. I mean, if you've tried to painting a room, tell me in the chat or comment how that experience goes for you, because this is how it goes for me. I'm thinking, I'm just going to come out with my brush and just paint a thing, and it's going to be done. And then I'm forgetting of all the things I have to take out the room, all the tape I have to tape up, because first of all, my hand can't be that straight. And I'm a stickler for details, because I will notice it. Some people go like, that looks straight. And I'm like, it's like 2 degrees off. And I'm usually right. It's just a thing. I don't know. It's just a thing. And so it takes me always longer than the time I anticipate it would take me, right? So that's definitely being, you should offer me a cup of tea since you're going to the tea store later today. Welcome, Sean. See, this is the thing. I'm gonna call you out, Sean, because here's the thing. Sean is a friend that I have made being here on YouTube, because he's a YouTuber too. And over the summer, I was passing his state, and I said, Sean, you want to meet up? And he was like, I'm busy. I got this work. I got this other. He never made no time for me. He never made no time for me. I'm pulling his leg. You're allowed to be busy, and it was short notice. So we will get tea, Sean. We'll get tea. We have to get tea. Yeah. Maybe I'm just a perfectionist that is just disappointed with life. How can I motivate myself when I don't have any ambition? Maybe I'm just a perfectionist that's disappointed. Yeah, so it's very easy for us to feel like things don't measure up, if that's what you mean. But I feel like your second question is a separate issue. Am I getting that right? How do I motivate myself when I don't have ambition? You don't have ambition to keep going if the results keep being disappointing, or you don't have ambition because you lost it because of something else. Let me know more. Let me know more. All right, Sam. That's a good tips. Help me let me focus my purpose a bit more, and gets me thinking about what I have to offer as a brand or entrepreneur entertainer. Right. Just figuring out what's your end goal, right? Having that end goal will help you understand where you need to start. So that, because I mean, YouTube is if we're still talking about YouTube, creating content, it's a long game. Some people do come in, and for some reason somebody discovers a little bit of, when they say, that preparation meets luck, and then all of a sudden it's a thing, right? That happens. I think that happens, because what happens with one of my videos, I think, is what brought the whole channel faster. I don't think it would have happened otherwise. It would have been a very slow move, because if you think about it, the percentage of people who have to make a commitment to subscribe, which I don't think matters. Let's talk YouTube a little bit. We obsess about subscribers more than we need to. If you think about it, you are monetized not by subscribers. If YouTube monetization is your thing, you want to be a YouTuber because you want to benefit or profit from YouTube ads. You are not monetized by how many subscribers you have. You are monetized by time people watch your videos. You make great content, people consume it, you get paid. It's just simple as that. You make good content that people stay on your video to watch, you get paid. So it's even if you had one subscriber and you had 100,000 views, I mean, people get paid, how is it, $6 or something like that, or $3 per 1,000 views, you're getting paid. So success, growth, we have to define what that means for us, depending on your end goal, right? Hey, nice to see you, girl. Who wants to be a nameless wanderer? You know, here's the thing, right? We wonder, but sometimes we don't understand. It may feel aimless at the time, right? We may feel like, because I can't connect all the pieces together, maybe it's been aimless. So we feel like it needs to have a purpose, and I need to really understand what that purpose is. I need to understand how it's all fitting together. And it's like, great for people who can figure that out. That has not been my experience, but maybe you guys can share with me if that has been your experience, that you have wondered, and the whole time you're wondering is purposeful. Like it feels perfect, like you understand the whole reason why you were there. Most of the time, I've understood the reason after the fact, not during. During is a lot of just trusting, believing, consistency, staying the path, and not getting the full picture. That's pretty much how my path has been. Consistently staying with it even when I don't get it, in the hope that 2 steps down the road, now this will make sense. But during it, it's like faith and just perseverance and consistency. That's pretty much how it has been for me. But maybe it's been different for you. Let me know in the chat. Simon said, what's the end goal? That's a good question. I'm a bit of content doubler. I'm still maybe figuring that out. I'm getting there though. Just need to ask more questions. That's true. Ask yourself and ask the people that you see yourself serving, or you want to be known for. Somebody asked, I think I have enrolled myself in so many different, you guys, if I told you, you'll be like, she's a crazy person. So I won't, because I want to hold a little credibility that, you know, I'm not that crazy. I have enrolled myself in so many different programs and courses finishing the year, because I want to hit the ground running in 2022, because I have so many things that I want to bring to pass, that I'm like pushing myself in terms of my comfort zone to doing things that I've been maybe kind of getting really rusty and just kind of set in my comfort zone, right? I want to push myself beyond that. And one of the good questions that they asked was, if you're going to get testimonials, or if people are going to talk about you to other people, what do you want them to say, or what do you want them to say you help them do? And I thought it was really nice. Instead of like, sometimes like, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be authority for? And it's like, I don't really know, but like, what's the reputation that you want people to come back and say, you know what Miss Dory helped me do? She helped me do this. What's that statement at the end that would make me feel like I did that? Oh, thank you. I'm so appreciative that by me showing up, it helped you do that, right? Like, me being here helped you do that. That's the parts that helped me to start realizing, what's the connection that really matters to me? What is that statement, if they say, that would really, make me feel like it was worth it? It was worth it. And so many of you, whatever, you've reached out to me in email, whatever, and you don't know, you may not know, you may go like, you know, she's doing it, she got it, she's fine. But every email, every message that you say, dang, you said that thing, it helped me do this, means so much, because there are days where I'm questioning, what am I doing? Does this even matter to anybody? And then the moment I start to lose faith in that way, somebody reaches, I'm like, thank you, Lord. Somebody reaches out and says to me, you did this and it helped me this. And that is enough to just keep me going. So whatever that thing is that you want to be known for, do that. So, oh, Sam, thank you for the gift. I must have missed it when you did it. I apologize, Sam. You sent me a little sticker and I forgot to. Couldn't even bring it up. I don't know why. I must have missed it somewhere. Thank you so much, Sam. I appreciate the gift. I'm gonna have lots of tea. You guys are are giving me lots of wonderful teas. Thank you. I appreciate that. All right. What are other comments you've been here? Oh, thank you, Kat from Germany. It's been a long hour. It's been long hour. Oh, here it is. I was like, oh, where did you send the gift? I didn't see it because it popped up there before it popped down here. So that was all I wanted to come and share with you guys today. If you have any more questions, chat it before I pop off because it's 2 o'clock my time and my kid is coming home in 2 hours. I'm gonna try and get some work done before she comes back because she's a girl. I think she's a highly sensitive person. She loves cuddles. So literally, if I don't get work done now, I'm gonna get it later because she'll be cuddling me up, and just hugging on me, which I do love hugs and I love cuddles. So I never complain. But her brother was very introverted, but he's introverted that really needs a lot of space. He just goes like, he just looks at us like, what are they doing? Like, okay, that's just not healthy because he just doesn't get it. And we say, my daughter always says, shame on you, should have given Mimi lots of hugs today. She needed lots of hugs. So I'm anticipating lots of hugs in a couple of hours. Sam, thank you. Tip for your tips. Thank you so much, Sam. I really appreciate that. It's been the same for me. I don't really understand what I've signed up for. I'm obviously going. That's the thing. Most of the time, it definitely is a journey for all of us. So I really appreciate you guys. I appreciate your time with me. I realize we're coming to a top of an hour, so I don't want to keep you longer than necessary. If you're catching this towards the end, definitely go back and rewatch it. It will be wonderful. And I'll see if I can maybe put a schedule for us to do lives again. I don't know if it's the thing. My schedule's a little crazy, but maybe my Fridays are a little bit flexible. If I was to do lives, it'll probably be Fridays. Let me know if you guys would like that sort of thing. If enough people in the chat, in the comments, say yes, we want to have this sort of catch-ups, at least an hour every Friday or something, I would definitely do them because, especially if I'm posting like a video like on Wednesday, because Wednesdays are usually my video posting days, right? If I post you something on Wednesday, we can always discuss it on a Friday or something like that. I don't know. But I haven't done lives in a really long time because I've really been trying to focus more in the membership, and just the time has been really tight. But I really miss coming and connecting with you guys in this way as well. So we'll see, maybe every other week or something that, I don't want to overcommit. Can you tell? That's what I'm doing. I don't want to overcommit. But it's been wonderful. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for what you're saying. Yes, please. That would be nice. Yes, go ahead and do a rewatch. And it would be nice to kind of catch up with you guys here. And if you're doing a rewatch, do comments, let me know, because part of the things I'm discovering is this idea of, because it's something I went through as well, is this idea of us having a gift to offer the world, but we are hiding. And I don't know if that's the word a lot of us are using, but it's almost just wanting the thing to speak for itself. Like we create something, we want it to speak to us for itself. We want to support other people, and we want that to speak for itself. When they call the Midas Touch, King Midas, that he would touch everything and everything will be gold, right? But it's almost this having this feeling like, I'm touching. I'm like, oh, I'll be touching the camera. It's almost feeling like I can make other things or other people amazing, but the focus is not in me. It's almost like I cease to exist if I'm not making other people, and it's just not us. And when the focus is on us having to create brands, which most of the time, if we're creating content, if we're creating brands, we have to show up because people have to buy from people. We're sitting on a lot of amazing good stuff, but if we can't get through this barrier, this seems to be the thing that struggles. We're invisible. We're not hiding, we're invisible. Oh, that's the interesting. We're invisible. But I wonder, why are we invisible? Why are we invisible? Why are we invisible? That is please, if you're watching a replay, let me know if that's what you feel. If you feel there's a distinction, that are we hiding, are we invisible? I have a theory, and maybe we'll talk about, because I don't want to start a whole new other discussion, because we'll be going here for another half an hour, and I don't want to do that. if you want to talk more about that, let me know in the chat, and let me know about that in the comment if you're catching this in the replay, because I feel like there is a distinction, but I think there's a reason we think we're invisible, but I think there's a reason it's safe for us to be invisible, or it's safe for us to hide and feel invisible. And that safety thing, I really want to touch on that a little bit, but maybe we can do that next time. Maybe we can do that next time, because I don't want to start a whole new discussion. But thank you for this. Thank you for that input. Thank you for that input. Thank you, guys. How to make invisible visible. That's how you make invisible visible. We need powder. Kat, what are we talking about? What kind of powder is this? I'm scared to even ask. What kind of powder are we talking about, Kat? Is it misspell? Is it power? I don't know, because I'm scared to ask what kind of powder, and then we end up being banned here on YouTube. Don't say anything naughty, Kat. Just keep it clean. I don't know what kind of powder. I don't want to be seen to be advocating stuff. I don't know. So let me know. Let me know what kind of powder. I don't know. Answer me. If it's something that if it's something we shouldn't be talking about, answer it somewhere else and hide it in the chat. Hide it in the comments so that I don't see it. But anyway, you guys have been awesome. I appreciate you all. I appreciate you spending time with me and coming and even starting a new conversation. Are we hiding, or are we invisible? And maybe that will be our next chat, whether we are hiding, whether we are being invisible, and what's the distinction, right? When they use powder to make, do you call this stuff in museum? They're like, cat. So let me know, and we can start that as a conversation. So as we always say, make sure you go watch the channel. I'll try to link the next videos. That will be really, really key in you catching up. The things that secure treasures, the light rays that secure treasures. We are treasures. I really think there's so much value in us, and it's such a shame that us as INFPs take a really, 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 really long time to acknowledge it. And each person's journey is each person's journey, and there's no time frame. I mean, it just feels really long time for us. So I would love to keep this discussion going. Next time, I'll see when I can schedule that in. It would definitely be a really good topic. Are we hiding, or are we invisible? I think that will be our next topic, and we will see what's the distinction, and maybe a little safety there, a little safety. Right? No judgment, none of that. Anyway, see, I'm already going there. I'm not going to go there, I promise. So go be awesome. Go be visible. Go not be a hidden treasure. Be a treasure to the world, because that's what brings us joy. Okay? And we always say on this channel, be awesome, live your life fully, and focus on your being than you're doing. All right? And I'll see you next time, lovely. Bye.